Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We have the latest Fatal Fury City of the Wolves trailer just dropped, and that is for the returning Gato. So Gato, well, not much of a surprise. He was effectively already confirmed, although this is a strong new look and there's some things going on about the character. Like, why does it look like he has his eyes closed the whole time in the fight here? Well, there is reasons for it. As City of the Wolves is a direct follow-up to Goro Mark of the Wolves, we're continuing the plot lines here. Now, his ending, Gato's ending, is canonical, it would seem, although I don't think he beat Kain. That would still be Rock, I'm sure. But somewhere along the way, you can see here in the ending that Gato's father attacks him and would seemingly blind him as well. And that seems to hold true. So this is part of the reason we have these vision issues with Gato. Now, we do have a translation from the official bio here from Lord Gato Ray, who is obviously enough a large Gato fan. So Gato is determined to settle the score with his father. After nearly being blinded by him in the previous tournament, Gato has, for the most part, recovered his sense of sight from the vicious attack. However, after realizing that the very sense is what makes his movement sluggish, he now willingly fights in complete darkness. Hearing news of the upcoming King of Fighters tournament, once again, Fatal Fury is King of Fighters tournaments, the vengeful Gato once again enters the fray with nothing but his father in his sights. The sights that he's not using willingly. I guess it's one of those deals where temporarily blinded, he's like, oh, being able to see is what held me back this entire time, right? Obviously, sight is the greatest weakness of any martial artist. Which then, well, leads us to our trailer. So yes, he refuses to fight while looking at the opponent now. Maybe he lost his sight, but he's picked up some new tricks, as we're going to get into here. Before we do the usual deep dive though, there is one big thing to notice besides Gato is the all new stage. So we're getting new stages again. Dong did not debut with a new stage. Not to say he doesn't have one, he probably does, but maybe for whatever reason not ready to show it off. But this here is the National Park. National Park is to the north of the town, kind of like just beyond the city limits. You can actually see Southtown just in the background here, like the main city center. So we're not directly in Southtown, but it just lets you know all this stuff is still all nearby. So that said, let's rewind a little bit here and let's break down the trailer properly. So opening up, once again, Gato, very self-serious. Oh, I just will fight with my eyes closed forever now, because that's just how it's gotta be. My dad hurt me and now I'm gonna beat up my dad. Every man's dream to beat up their father, I suppose. Will he do it? We'll find out in the plot, I guess. Now first up, nothing too special. This is just a close jab linking into the universal target, like auto combo basically. Now here's where we see some of the classic Gato. So I'm assuming this is a new close heavy punch going into the quaking fang and then the piercing fang follow-up. These are very, very important moves for the character. And now a bit of mystery. This is all new. Now, of course, a lot of the returning casts are getting new moves, because why wouldn't you? It's been 20 some years. But yeah, this is all new. Very flourishy, very elaborate. We will see more of it later in the trailer. Now, here's where things get really interesting, though. So one, his counter. He's had a counter in the past. He didn't have like the King of Fighters version, but he's had a counter, right? So the counter returns with a new follow-up animation. But after the counter, you see he's striking a bit of a pose. And this pose looks very much like a stance. If Gato is now fighting without the need to look at you, I guess it doesn't really matter if his back's turned to you, because vision's no longer part of the game plan anymore. Now, what's in this stance remains to be seen. This is the only time we're going to see it in this trailer. But that, we already have one new move, right? Having a stance and whatever new moves that could come from this stance. This is a very interesting potential. And not even looking at you, right? So, doing a cool dude thing, I don't need to even face your direction anymore. Here, we see that new move return and all this big flourishy fanciness glory. But the thing about that is, after the move is done, that final hit doesn't launch as like the palm upwards might suggest, but it does seem to allow Gato to link after the fact. So we do crouch heavy punch into the new move, and afterwards he seemingly links into far jab into quaking fang. So that's some interesting combo structure. So basically get the new move, and if it connects, easy link into another recombo. Now, next up, just a good example of the general power of the engine, right? Because we got break combos, y'all. So close heavy punch, break into another close heavy punch, and there's another break. Wait a second. Didn't he only have one break in Garo? Yeah, he's got some new toys to play around with. So now Quaking Fang now has a break attached to it. You can see the startup of it, right? So everyone has break combos, that's normal, but now he has a break on one of his most important moves, which will definitely help change up the combo structure big time. And here you can see up kick still has the break cancel as well. So we're break canceling that into the launch, which then lets us go into our level 1. This is the Ryuga super, which is a very deadly, just rising dragon kick. Next we see his Rev Blow, which is the same as his old top attack, just a big old palm. Everyone loves armored moves. And now more fancy styled City of the Wolves combos. So we're just kind of using all the systems here. So we open up here, close heavy punch into EX Quaking Fang, Rev canceled into EX up kicks, and then that's Rev canceled into the Air Rev Blow, which just given the animation obviously is tailor-made to be used after EX up kicks because it is a very natural looking follow-up here with that slam dunk afterwards. And next up, we're just going to keep that combo structure going, right? Going to use a lot of what makes City of the Wolves City of the Wolves. We're going to have more Rev cancels and also debuting another one of his very, very core moves. Fuga, the command jump. So EX version of the new move, Rev canceled into EX Fuga, and then another Fuga. And then up kicks, break canceled, then I'll go into super in a second. But just to talk about Fuga, if you're unaware, Fuga is a command jump. It has a follow-up where he stomps the ground first, which does have a hitbox, and then he jumps. And from those command jumps, he has lots of options, like a lot. Think of it like Akuma's Demon Flip, except he can do even more things, on top of hitting you during the startup of it as well. Very, very, very powerful move. It's like one of the core things. It's one of the reasons you would pick the character, basically. But I did mention all the follow-ups here, and the break cancel going into super, and here is our level 2 super. This is his very infamous neck snap super. What's the neck snap super, you might ask? Well, funnily enough, he snaps your neck. This is the Rega super, and it's definitely also one of the very signature parts of the character, and just a gigantic slam down at the end. And then, as always, a bit of a tease for what's to come. So we see part of his hidden gear, the big cinematic super. And of course, a hit, but that's not everything. You know, there's probably just something we're not quite getting. But still, as a whole, this is a strong trailer. Gato has a lot of very diehard fans. I gotta imagine they're gonna be very happy with what they're seeing here. Like, he's got an all-new move. He has his counter back. He has a no stance, and who even knows what can happen from this stance where he just turns his back on you, right? He's a very cold kind of character. And I figure like he's extra just going to murk you from whatever this back turn stance is going to be. And the stage looks beautiful, right? It's very understated, but like in a way that just really works for me. Being able to see like the main part of the metropolitan area of Southtown just in a little bit of a view window there in the background, I think is just a really nice touch. SNK is always really good about that kind of stuff when it comes to stages. But that is the trailer. That is the breakdown. We're ever so slowly getting closer to the launch in April. They still have an open beta. They promised us the beta. No dates or times on that just yet. It is coming eventually though. But for now, my friends, that is the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Fatal Fury.